The drama over election dates in Pakistan continues. Pakistan's Law Ministry has slammed the announcement made by President Alvi proposing general elections be held on November the 6th. President Alvi had reportedly reached out to the country's election commissioner and proposed the dates unilaterally without seeking suggestions from other stakeholders. This development comes 2 days after the president met with the caretaker law minister to discuss the polling schedule. The president was appointed to the post during the tenure of Imran Khan, who later lost power following a no-confidence motion. In a letter to the election commissioner, President Alvi highlighted that Pakistan's constitution empowers him to appoint a date for elections within 90 days from the dissolution of parliament. However, the Pakistan Election Commission has maintained that deciding the date of the general elections is their prerogative. Now, the Law Ministry has also held the same view. The ministry says that the announcement of the election date was the Election Commission of Pakistan's mandate and not for the President's office to decide. Pakistan's National Assembly was dissolved on August 9th, with the outgoing Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif being replaced with an interim successor to oversee a general election. The outgoing Shehbaz Sharif government's decision to approve the 2023 census has complicated matters further. This means the elections due by November, at the latest, could be delayed by several months. The Election Commission has also expressed that the poll dates be pushed beyond the Constitution Ally mandated cut-off date due to changes mandated by the census exercise. The opposition has meanwhile accused the government of dragging its feet. The ruling dispensation, however, claims it a constitutional requirement to hold elections under the latest census. Moreover, the United States has urged Pakistan to hold free and fair elections. While responding to the media, the spokesperson of the US State Department said that free, fair and timely elections is extremely important. He also expressed that the government should honor and respect human rights and fundamental freedoms of the people of Pakistan. On the other hand, Pakistan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has expressed that they welcome the encouragement from other countries for free and fair elections. However, the ministry also voiced that embassies of other nations should be careful about their stance and how they are perceived in Islamabad. This comes on the sidelines of the planned return of former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, scheduled to return from a self-imposed exile in London since 2019. He is scheduled to land in Pakistan on the 21st of October. He's set to lead his Pakistan Muslim League Party's political campaign for the upcoming polls. And to discuss the ongoing political turmoil in Pakistan, joining us now is our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik. He joins us on this broadcast from Islamabad. Anas, thanks for joining us. Help us understand this latest political fracas in Pakistan as of now. We know that Nawaz Sharif is expected to return. He will get a great reception. Now, what is this confusion over when the general election will happen?
Well, there's a lot of back and forth that has been ongoing with regards to that, Priyanka. The mandate of the interim government says that when the election commission announces, that is when the general election will happen. Now, the election commission is binded by law to announce in case of an early dissolution within 90 days. But the caveat is, or the legal caveat is that before the government went out, the outgoing government went out, they had notified the new census. So that means a new delimitation comes in, for which the election commission gets 4 months, and then after that another 2 months following the delimitation being agreed upon, only then the elections will be held. So we're looking at elections to be potentially be held in the country somewhere in the last week of January or the first week of February 2024. This is the official position, but there is another hitch and another problem. The commander of the Supreme Forces, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces and the head of the state, which is the President, he says that since on his notice is when the assemblies were dissolved, therefore he holds the power to call for an election and give a date for the election and a directive as well. That is the problem. That is the actual hitch. The law is very clear that the election commission is mandated to give that date. So there is some power struggle that is ongoing, in lieu of which we saw yesterday the president wrote to the election commission of Pakistan saying that in his view the election should not be delayed more than the 6th of November, and that falls in the 90-day period. But he's also asked the election commission to seek guidance of the superior judiciary.
Right. Anas, tell us about the return of Nawaz Sharif to Pakistan. How likely is it that he will be the next Prime Minister of the country?
that's a million-dollar question. He would want to be the next Prime Minister. The PMLN wants him to be the next Prime Minister. Nawaz Sharif has been that trump card that the PMLN have been relying on and have been putting across that as soon as Nawaz Sharif comes, there will be development, prosperity in the country, the inflation levels will go down, electricity prices will go down as well, and so the daily life of an average Pakistani will improve. This is what the PMLN, the narrative that the PMLN have been projecting, though it might be contrary to how it is on the ground. Nawaz Sharif has announced, his party has announced that he will be returning on the 21st of October. It still remains to be seen that he returns as a free person or goes behind the bars, because remember, he continues to be a proclaimed offender. On the 19th of November 2018 is when he had left the country. 2019 November is when he had left the country, and since then we haven't seen him returning back. So he's been wanted in cases in which he's already been sentenced, and that is why his return makes it very, very critical as to what will be the future course of action, whether he will be allowed to walk free and be a free citizen, or whether he gets that mammoth of a reception and then goes behind bars. Priyanka.
Anas Malika, Pakistan Bureau Chief, thanks for joining us on this broadcast. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.